Hello everyone. So I've got the Mattel 75th anniversary Barbie doll right here. She's supposed to be a reproduction of the original #1 Barbie doll. She is supposed to be a Silkstone version. I'm excited to open her up and see how that Silkstone translates on the #1 Barbie doll. All right everyone, let's get to it. Alright, so here we have the doll to celebrate Mattel's 75th anniversary. This is not to be confused with Barbie's anniversary. This is celebrating Mattel as a company. This came out around 2 years ago, and the doll is supposed to be a Silkstone reproduction of the original #1 Barbie doll. The #1 Barbie is essentially the very first version of Barbie to be released in 1959, and she has the classic side-eye, the thin eyebrows, and the curly bangs. She is an acquired taste for a lot of people, and it's one of my favorite faces just because of how iconic and distinctive it is. I think that the face screening was done well with careful consideration to how her eyebrows were originally painted, arched, and thin. The hair was rooted correctly, with rooting along the hairline only, which is how the original Barbies would have been rooted. I will say that the bangs, though, are a little bit too long and not curly enough. I essentially restyled mine so that they would look a little bit closer to how the original would have looked. I think what gives the original Barbie such an iconic look is how large that forehead appeared because her bangs were so short and curly. The bathing suit also fits very well, especially when you compare it to the 35th anniversary Barbie that came out in the 90s at some point. If you know, that bathing suit was pretty ill-fitted, and this one is much better. She has the traditional holes at the bottom of her feet with a peg stand, so it looks like she's standing on her own, and this was a very distinctive feature of the #1 Barbie doll. I did find some imperfections at the bottom of her feet. It looks like on the side there's some extra plastic, kind of looks like there's something growing on the side of her foot. I found it on both sides. One side is definitely worse than the other, and I thought about getting a new one, but after looking up more reviews, I found that it was actually pretty common on a lot of these dolls. So if you have one, let me know if you also have this problem. I think mine is a little worse than others, but I hope that they will fix it in the future. Oh, and before I forget, she did also come with a pair of sunglasses. Let me put them on. I think that they are decently made. I wouldn't say they're the best quality, but there you have it. And my final comment for this reproduction is how stunning and gorgeous the Silkstone material looks and feels for this doll. I'm personally very happy that Barbie Signature is recreating all of the old vintage classics in Silkstone material. The original dolls, if you've ever had any of them, I would say it's the numbers 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s that have that original plastic that kind of smells like crayons, and it is such a heavier material than a lot of the later vinyl plastics that they made the Barbies out of. And that plastic is very special to have and to hold. And I think that the Silkstone is a very modern, updated version of that material that they used for the old dolls. So making these classic reproductions out of Silkstone is probably the closest that a lot of us collectors will get to that feeling and that quality of what the original Barbies would have felt like. And wrapping things up, I think that this Barbie is a dream in Silkstone, and I will probably never own a number one Barbie because of how expensive it is. So this is a good replacement, especially if you can just style and curl the bangs a little bit closer to her forehead and show off those really arched eyebrows and that larger forehead that the original had. Alright everyone, so that is all that I have for you today. Don't forget to like this video so that other vintage Barbie lovers can find me, and if you like my content, also subscribe. Alright everyone, I will see you all in the next one. Bye!